We are into a series on the PIOs, the players of Indian origin, wherein on your own storytelling platform Bol Dada Bol, we have been discussing about the possibility of them acquiring an Indian passport and making themselves eligible to play for the Indian national teams. My name is Nilanjan Datta, Namaskar. Today the big question is, in that series on the PIOs, why do we need PIOs? और ये जो why है, ये डिपेंड करता है आप किस तरीके से इस why को पूछ रहे हो. In which manner are you asking the question? There are two sides to the coin. भारतीय फुटबॉल को क्यों चाहिए PIOs? एक साइड, क्यों चाहिए PIOs भारतीय फुटबॉल को? The other side. Today we are discussing both. क्यों चाहिए PIOs भारतीय फुटबॉल को? भारतीय फुटबॉल को क्यों चाहिए PIOs? देखिए, with FIFA having increased the number of teams in the FIFA World Cup, all football playing countries eventually play for that one dream of making or getting a qualification into the FIFA World Cup. All teams. Now, if you look at the teams who play football, the countries which play football all over the world, there are two boats. दो नैया है. एक, there are World Cup teams, and the others are the non-World Cup teams. We in India obviously have been a non-World Cup team so far. We also have a dream of making it to the World Cup. Now, with the number of teams having increased, each and every country are toying up their chances and the possibilities of eventually getting their dreams fulfilled of making it to the World Cup. In such a situation, they are looking at players who are not in their country but are also eligible to play for their country. It's a common trend now in Asia, common trend all over the world with the dual passport rule being there. Players are being kind of recruited as they are being recruited by the clubs to play for the country. Till now, with the number of teams having been limited till 32, the chances were lesser for all the non-developed footballing nations. Hence, they are opting out to getting players who can represent them, and those players who kind of play in a better domestic setup and better leagues than what they have in their own country. No harm in that. Can we? It's a shortcut to success, as simple as that. This is not the long-term solution. Now, all those countries in Asia, including some in the SAF region rather, जो players of their country's origin लेके आया है, not that they have had huge success, but there's been a start. No harm in that. So in India, the fans and the All India Football Federation is also toying up the option, as इतने दिनों से चल रहा है कि क्यों नहीं हम लोग को भी यदि dual passport rule allow हो जाता है, we can also get PIOs. About the dual passport rule, we have debated in our previous episodes on the PIOs. Do go back to the videos and have a look out there. Put in your comments, share in your views, and do like and subscribe, and obviously spread the word. So, the flow or the pipeline of players in our country stay the same. From the academies, aiff academies, national academies, to the Indian senior national team, and we need to increase the pipeline of players. For a professional setup, 10,000 players minimum होने से आपको 20 प्लेयर ढंग का मिल जाता है. So the pipeline of players which we have realized that our dream of making it to the World Cup eventually means right at the present moment may not mature out to be. Obviously the ambition stays. Full faith on our players. So कुछ जगह में प्लग इन करके रेगुलेट करके यदि हम लोग कुछ बेटर प्लेयर्स को ला सकते हैं, कुछ गैप्स को क्लोज इन कर दे, तो उस हिसाब से शायद वो प्लेयर्स जाके हम लोग को मदद कर दे, एंड वी इवेंचुअली इंडिया ऑल्सो गेट्स अ टिकट टू क्वालिफाई फॉर द फीफा वर्ल्ड कप. इसको भराटे सैन्य बोलते हैं बांग्ला में, यानी कि हायर्ड सोल्जर्स. बंगाल क्रिकेट में मिड 80s से अर्ली 90s तक ये था कि बाहर का जो आयोन से डिस्कार्ड्स प्लेयर्स हु आर ऑल्सो ड्रीमिंग ऑफ मेकिंग इट टू द इंडियन क्रिकेट टीम में, मिड 80s से अर्ली 90s का बंगाल क्रिकेट का बात कर रहा हूं, India probables who are not getting a chance in their country because there's too much competition and quality in their own state came over to play Ranji Trophy for Bengal. ये ट्रेंड अभी भी कुछ स्टेट्स में चलता रहता है. उससे उभर के बंगाल क्रिकेट आज पूरी होम ब्रेड प्लेयर्स से आगे बढ़ रहा है. It's a force to reckon with. Bengal is a force to reckon with in the domestic structure with all homebred players. So that was a short-term solution. So if we go into that solution, it's a solution for us. Why do we need PIOs? We need PIOs for that reason. The other side of the coin, भारतीय फुटबॉल को क्यों चाहिए भैया PIO क्यों चाहिए? Because you know in 2008 when that rule was put in, the dual passport rule was abolished, Indian sporting scenario was entirely different. We were not regular medal earners in the Olympics. We struggled, we had a dream. Since then, sports in India has evolved. We have slowly rather made that right turn into leading to the pathway of evolving as a sporting nation. Time लगेगा, but आज के दिन पे the unthinkable in India has happened. We have won an Olympic medal, gold medal in athletics, world championship. सब कुछ हमारे पास है, and that's inspiring people. So we have done it without any players of Indian origin from outside. 2008 में इतनी इंप्रूवमेंट, चाहे बैडमिंटन हो, रेसलिंग हो, बॉक्सिंग अभी नहीं हो रहे हैं, शूटिंग है, एथलेटिक्स है, was unthinkable. 2008 पे was unthinkable कि हम लोग को इतने जल्दी उभर के आ जाएंगे. We have done it, and we have done it with our own Indian set of players. So if you look at the youth development structure in the country, in the footballing setup, कहां होता है youth development? Licensing, club licensing है, उसमें जो youth development का green tick होता है, it's mostly on paper. I won't say solely on paper, mostly on paper. With the professional league, the Indian Super League having reached 10 years, how many of those clubs have actually gone into youth development to produce players? There's been a start, but a very slow start. I'm not putting fingers at anyone. There's huge exorbitant sum of money being spent to get transfers of players from domestic players from one club to the other. What stops those clubs from nurturing players, scouting players at the youth level? You need not be a residential academy at all. Football, I will always maintain, is a club-centric sport more than a country-centric sport. So वो pipeline यदि clubs नहीं बढ़ाएंगे, a helpless All India Football Federation in their own effort to field an under-16 national team, under-19 national team, and eventually the senior national team, realizing that the same set of players may not eventually fulfill the dream of taking India to the World Cup, may be forced to look out for other options, players of Indian origin. क्यों चाहिए भाई? Can't we really at one stage grow our homebred players? Are we kidding ourselves? State associations, if you look at the youth development, you'll understand what I am hinting at. If you look at the clubs, you'll understand what I'm hinting at. And it's not just the ISL clubs. Football in India, despite all the history, 2 Asian Games gold medal, 1 bronze, 51, 62, 70 Asian Youth Games joint champions. But since then, वो समय भी clubs थे. What has been the youth development structure? And do you honestly as fans visualize all those clubs getting into a youth development structure sooner or later or even in the future? I don't. At the current moment, I'm sorry to say. तो इसीलिए चाहिए PIOs. Simple सी बात है. Look at Vietnam. Sunil Chhetri's hat-trick against Vietnam did not come with 60s or 70s में. It was only some years back. But today as we speak, the next big thing in Asian football is Vietnam, the hottest ever team. Homebred players, homebred coaches with a vision. And it's not just the All India Football Federation. They are not solely to be blamed. हम लोग कुछ भी उठाते, पत्थर उठा के फेंक दो All India Football Federation को, फुटबॉल हाउस पे, अरे कुछ नहीं कर रहे हैं. आपकी क्लब में जो फैंस क्लब्स चिल्ला रहे हो आप लोग, भाई साहब क्लब्स में let's look at our clubs. I also maybe support a club. Let's look at our clubs and ask and force them to grow their own players rather than spending exorbitant sum of money for transfer of players from one club to the another. बिल्कुल मिले पैसा प्लेयर्स को, क्यों नहीं मिलेगा? प्रोफेशनल्स है, केपेबल इंडिविजुअल्स है. बट if we make an effort, we can grow our home-based players and plug in and regulate the areas, the small areas where we need players and pay the transfer money. अभी तो ट्रेंड है कुछ भी हो जाए दूसरे के घर से खींच के लेके बिठा दो, इसीलिए चाहिए PIOs. That was our series on the PIOs. We have had several episodes on it. Keep following us. We'll be back with more news, more developments from all spheres of the society. Stay well, stay safe. Festive greetings to each and everyone. बोलते रहिएगा, बोल दादा बोल. नमस्कार.